Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When you stop contacting a man, he's going to do one of two things. And this is not just some relationship theory. This is real life stuff. You see, men are wired to respond to action, or in this case, the lack of it. When you stop reaching out, when you stop checking in, when you stop sending those good morning texts, it shakes him. When you stop contacting a man, the very first thing that happens is his mind starts running wild. See, men are used to patterns. If you've been texting him every day, calling him, checking on him, making him feel like he's the center of your world, that becomes a routine for him. He starts expecting it without even realizing it. Then one day you go quiet, no text, no call, no good morning, baby. Now suddenly the pattern is broken, and that's when his mind starts working in ways it hasn't before. He starts to wonder, what's going on? Did something happen? Did you get upset? Are you mad at him? Or worse, have you moved on? Men won't always admit it, but we notice when the attention stops, and we notice it quick. That little ding from your name in his phone that he got used to seeing, it's not there anymore. And when a man doesn't hear from a woman who's been consistent, he starts questioning himself. He starts replaying the last few conversations in his head. What did I say? Did I mess up? Did she take something the wrong way? He'll start looking at his own actions, even if he tries to act like he's unbothered. Now, here's the thing. When you stop contacting him, you shift the power without even trying. You put him in a position where he has to think about you instead of you thinking about him. And that's powerful because most of the time, men don't even realize how much they've been taking your presence for granted until it's gone. That silence you given him is louder than any words you could have said. It's not an argument. It's not a fight. It's just space. And space makes people uncomfortable when they're used to your energy. See, men are competitive by nature. When something is taken away from them, especially something they enjoy and value, it stirs something inside them. He's not just thinking about the conversations you used to have. He's thinking about who might be having those conversations with you now. He's not just wondering why you're not texting. He's wondering who you might be texting instead. And that's where the curiosity kicks in deep. First, he might try to brush it off, thinking, oh, she's probably just busy. But as time goes by, that curiosity turns into a need for answers. He starts checking his phone more often, wondering if maybe he missed your text. He might go back to your social media looking for signs of what's going on in your life. He might even ask mutual friends if you've said anything about him. And every time he doesn't get an answer, it eats at him a little more. And here's the funny part. Even if he was the one who was distant before, even if he acted like he didn't care, when you stop contacting him, that shifts the dynamic. Now you're not chasing. You're not proving your worth. You're not giving him the comfort of knowing you're always there. You step back, and that forces him to decide whether he's going to step forward or fade away. When a man starts questioning himself, it's a moment of truth. Some men will realize they've been too comfortable, and they'll come running to fix it. They'll send that, hey, how have you been text, or call you out of nowhere just to hear your voice. They'll suddenly remember all the things they should have been doing to keep you close. But others, they'll let the silence stay. And while that might sting at first, it's actually a blessing because it shows you exactly where you stand without you having to do a single thing. That first reaction, that questioning, that curiosity, that shift in his energy, that's the beginning of finding out who he really is when you're not pouring into him every day. And trust me, if he cares, he's going to feel that silence like a punch. If he doesn't, your silence will still serve you because it'll save you from wasting any more of your time. The second thing that happens when you stop contacting a man is he either chases you harder than ever before or he lets you go without a fight. And let me tell you, that's the moment you find out exactly what you mean to him. When you go quiet, you're putting the ball in his court. You've done your part. You've shown interest. You've invested your time. And you've been consistent. Now, by stepping back, you're giving him the opportunity to decide if he's going to meet you halfway or let it all fade away. When a man decides to chase, it's because he feels that void your absence has created. He realizes the energy you brought into his life, the way you made him feel, the little things you did without even thinking about. He starts to see how much he's been depending on you for connection and comfort. And when that's gone, it hits him that he might actually lose you if he doesn't act. That's when you see him making moves he might not have made before. He calls you out of nowhere. He texts you first thing in the morning. He starts asking questions about your day, and he puts in effort that was missing before. That's him saying, without actually saying it, I'm not ready to lose you. But here's the other side of it. Sometimes when you stop contacting a man, he doesn't chase. He doesn't call. He doesn't text. He doesn't show up. And as painful as that might be to see, it's actually one of the most valuable answers you can get because his lack of action is telling you everything you need to know. If he can go days, weeks, even months without hearing from you, and it doesn't move him to reach out, then you were never a priority to begin with. He was never going to give you the kind of effort you deserved. Your silence simply revealed it faster. And that's the beauty of this. By stepping back, you save yourself from wasting energy on someone who isn't willing to give it back. Too many people keep chasing someone who's already shown they're not invested. But when you stop contacting him, you give him the chance to either rise to the occasion or confirm that he's not the one for you. Either way, you win because you're no longer guessing how he feels. You're watching how he acts. Now, for the men who do chase, pay attention to the way they do it. Is he chasing you because he genuinely values you, or is it just because his ego is hurt? Some men don't like losing something they thought they had control over, but that doesn't mean they truly want to build a lasting connection. You can tell the difference by watching what happens after he gets your attention again. If he goes back to the same lazy behavior as before, then that chase was nothing more than a temporary performance. But if he keeps showing up, keeps putting in effort, and proves with consistency that he wants you in his life, then you've got something real to work with. For the ones who don't chase at all, understand that it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of where they are in their own life, what they value, and the effort they're willing to put into a relationship. And you can't teach someone to care. You can't force them to value you. You can only set the standard for how you want to be treated. And silence is one of the strongest ways to set that standard in the end. The second thing that happens when you stop contacting a man is either going to confirm his commitment or expose his indifference. And that's exactly why this works. Because while you're sitting in silence, you're not losing anything. You're learning everything. You're learning whether he's willing to match your energy or let you slip away. And whichever way he chooses, you've just gained the clarity you need to decide if he deserves a place in your life. Your silence will reveal his true intentions faster than any words could. People can say anything they want. They can make promises. They can talk about how much they care, but words are cheap if they're not backed by actions. When you stop contacting a man, you remove the stage where he can perform with words, and you force him into a place where his actions have to speak for him. It's in that silence that you see who's genuine and who's just been talking. A man who truly cares about you will feel your absence like a missing heartbeat. He won't be able to just sit back and wonder forever. He'll reach out. He'll make the effort. He'll do what he has to do to reestablish that connection, because to him, you matter. And when someone values you, they're not going to risk losing you over pride or laziness. That's why your silence is so powerful. It forces him to show you where you stand without you having to ask the question. But then there are the men whose actions, or lack of them, show you the opposite. You go quiet and they don't do anything. No message, no call, no attempt to find out how you're doing. And the truth is, as hard as it is to accept, that silence from their side is an answer in itself. It tells you that they're either not interested enough to fight for the connection, or they've already mostly checked out long before you went silent. Either way, your silence revealed it without a confrontation, without begging for attention, and without you having to lower your standards. See, when you keep talking to someone, when you keep showing up for them, you can trick yourself into believing they care just because they respond. But response isn't effort. Some people will respond out of habit, convenience, or boredom, not because they truly value you. When you pull away, you strip that comfort away from them. And what's left is the raw truth. Do they pursue you when you're not putting in the work, or do they let you drift away without a fight? That answer tells you more about their heart than any sweet words ever could. And here's another thing. Your silence can reveal not just their intentions toward you, but also their priorities in life. If a man is truly busy chasing his own goals, building his own life, and he doesn't see you as a priority, that will show. If he's entertaining other people and you were never his main focus, that will show. If he's just looking for convenience rather than commitment, that will show. Silence has a way of stripping away the surface and showing you the real picture. Most of the time, we keep giving people the benefit of the doubt because we're afraid of the truth. We're afraid that if we pull away, we'll find out they don't really care. And that's a hard pill to swallow. But you can't build something real on illusions. You can't build trust on guesses. At some point, you need clarity. And silence is one of the most powerful ways to get it. When you stop contacting a man, you're putting your feelings, your time, and your energy in a safe place. You're saying, I'm going to protect my peace until I know where you stand. And the way he reacts in that quiet will tell you everything. If he's truly with you, he'll show up. If he's not, he won't. And that's all the information you need to decide your next move. So don't fear the silence, embrace it. Don't chase clarity with questions when you can get it with space. Because a man's true intentions aren't revealed when everything's going well and you're pouring into him. They're revealed when you step back and see what he does when you're not there. And once you know the truth, you can't unsee it. You can only decide whether you're going to accept it or walk away from it. Men value what they feel they might lose, and absence makes the heart and the mind work overtime. It's human nature to want what you can't have, but with men, that instinct is even stronger. When something is always there, always available, it becomes easy to take it for granted. You don't realize the weight of someone's presence until it's no longer guaranteed. And that's exactly what happens when you stop contacting a man. You remove the certainty he's been leaning on. Suddenly, the comfort of knowing you just a text away is gone. And that absence starts to bother him more than he expected. When you're consistent with someone, they build their days around that consistency without even realizing it. They know you're going to check in. They know you're going to respond. They know you'll be there no matter what. But the minute you stop, they have to sit with the fact that they're no longer your priority. That quiet moment when they reach for their phone and it's nothing from you is when they start realizing how much space you were taking up in their life. And that space now feels like a hole. Men are problem solvers by nature, but they can't solve what they can't control. When you go silent, they can't predict your next move. They can't figure out exactly what you're doing, who you're talking to, or where your focus has shifted. That uncertainty drives them to think about you more, not less. And because they can't read your thoughts, their mind starts filling in the blanks. Is she losing interest? Is she talking to someone else? Did I push her away? These questions don't just disappear. They loop in his head. And the more he thinks about them, the more your value in his mind increases. You see, absence is like an amplifier for feelings. If he had genuine interest in you before, your absence is going to make that